Alright guys and girls, this is Bag of Soup coming at you with some test server fun this weekend. We are testing out the Beacon Rush mode, and we also found ourselves playing some 1 versus 1 matches. So I'm joined here with Bags to Riches.
Hello.
How are you, buddy?
Good.
Now we've already played these matches, but we wanted to kind of go back and provide some post-game commentary because we had some crazy times. You can tell I'm running a bunch of spider bots here. Let's talk about some tips for how to do like a 1 versus 1 Beacon Rush map. First off, the first thing we did is I waited to spawn in. I waited because I wanted to see what this guy is running. What's he running there, Matthew?
Rhino.
So I figured if he's running a Rhino with rockets, I want to get in with my Fujin that has Orkans. I think I will be able to outmaneuver him around the buildings. So first things first, you know, we want to get some beacons to put some pressure on him. Because if we get a couple beacons going, ideally 2 or 3, then it's going to force him to have to come to us, and then we can decide where we're going to fight him. What do you think?
Yeah, and the important part of that game, beacons, if you have 6 players but you're still doing the Beacon Rush mode, then when you capture a beacon, then you can make a new base like the bad guys.
Yeah, so once you capture a beacon, if you die, you can spawn back in any beacon that your team controls. That's huge. So Bags to Riches, you're right. The more beacons you control, the more their beacon bar is going down, causing pressure on them, and the more places you can spawn back in. So probably a good idea is to start with a fast bot, like a Rog, a Stalker, a Gareth, something fast.
Fujin.
The Fujin's pretty fast. As a matter of fact, I think the Fujin got a little bit of a speed boost, but the Rhino got a big speed boost this weekend that we're just discovering, and it looks exciting. So here we go. We're about to face the Rhino, and I'm using my maneuverability to start firing at him and work my way around this edge, and his maneuverability is not nearly as good as me. So we lost about 10% of our health, and he lost about 95% of his. We toasted that Rhino.
Yeah, no.
Then I put up my Ansel shield and took the rest of them out.
Speaking of toast, maybe one day when the test server comes back on, I'll run a toaster.
A toaster? You want to run a boa?
Yeah.
Yeah, we call the boa the toaster because it looks like a toaster.
Yeah.
So I figured if anyone's running rockets on these kind of close range battles, the Fujin shield is going to come in real handy. So this guy was smart enough to come back in with plasma. The problem is his Galahad does not have an Ansel shield, and once again, I was able to use the corners there to be able to fire right into his shield and give him all that damage. So I'm still on my first bot, and he's almost out of 2 of his. I'll say this, 1 versus 1 is a lot different from 6 on 6. There's a lot of strategy because it's just 2 of you. So you've got to, number 1, know what kind of bot they're running. It's kind of like a paper, rock, scissors deal. You know, paper beats rock.
You mean rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah. What beats scissors?
Rock.
Yeah. So
because rock smashes scissors.
Yeah, and scissors cut paper. So you need to know, like, hey, plasma goes through an Ansel shield, but rockets goes through a physical shield. Just like that, he picked plasma to go through my shield, but I used the terrain and corner splash damage to take him out before he could fire at me.
Dad.
We got him. Oh, now here's a good point. Yes, we're waiting before we go to that beacon because we know he might spawn in there. So that's why I didn't go for that beacon. I waited, and he came in with an Ancelot, knowing that he could block a lot of my rockets. However, my Fujin is pretty powerful, but at this point I kind of gave up and tried to rush inside of his Ansel shield to take him out from within, but I couldn't get there, and I finally lost. My Fujin is gone. So I've got to pick what beacon am I going to come in on. I picked the one that he was coming toward, and what do? I get into kind of a close range bot. He's got plasma, so I figure, hey, my physical shield on the Raijin, that's going to help.
Yeah.
And my Thunders can take down his shield up close. So I thought this was a pretty good deal for what I had. Make sure when you're running 1 versus 1 that you've got a variety of bots that can handle whatever the enemy player throws at you. So he can corner shoot me here, and the sad thing is I can't put my shield up unless I'm moving. So probably a Lancelot would have been a better situation for us to run, but hey, I want to run all spider bots, and look at the damage we did around that corner.
Well, you do have the carnage, has an Ansel.
Yeah, we have that Ansel shield, but in this case, I think the physical shield and the extra hit points was better on the Raijin. Now, here's the problem. He knows that, so he comes back in with a Rocket Griffin, an RDB Griffin, with pins and Columbus. So he knows that that can hurt our bot. So I'm trying to use the terrain to recap some beacons. Once again, less places he can spawn in. And I want to put pressure because we're a little down on the energy bar here. We're going back and forth.
Yep.
So my deal here is I'm trying to hide where he can't hit me with his jumping splash damage, as you can see.
Like that?
The problem is this Raijin is not very maneuverable in here. I think, as a matter of fact, I'm probably going to get stuck, so I need to come back out. You don't want to get jammed in and hit by rockets, so I kind of got myself into a bad spot. But I'm covering that center beacon, and I'm trying to get him close enough to where I can do big damage with my thunders. My shield's irrelevant, so I don't even need to bother putting it up. I just need to try to get around this corner without getting corner splashed. He made the bad decision to jump, so it still hurt me, but I was able to get in close on him and do some big shots real quick. And look at this, man. Mutual self-destruction. So we've now lost 2 bots, and I believe he's lost 4 bots. I think he's lost his Rhino, his Galahad, his Ancelot, and his Griffin. I think he's on his last bot here. And I think that was it. I think he gave up. It was a close match as far as beacons and damage. I used 2 bots. He used 4, I think was the deal there. But you can see how tactics and strategy play a huge role in 1 versus 1 because it's so obvious. There's only 2 of you to fight. Corner shooting, bot selection, and of course the beacons are a big deal in Beacon Rush because you want to keep that energy bar going, and you want to put pressure on them because of where they can spawn in and where they can't. So that was our first match there on Power Plant. You can see my lineup. This is not my ideal lineup for Beacon Rush, but I really wanted to use all spiders. I threw 1 Carnage in because he's kind of like an animal. It's all workshop bots. What's your favorite spider, Matthew?
The Raijin Tempest, because I am running him in the test server.
Yeah, the only issue I have, once again, is that that Raijin's awesome, but you got to stop to put the shield up.
Yeah.
Fujin and Fujin and Raijin. I'm suggesting to Pixonic, if they want to make these spider bots a little more usable, more popular, let them be able to move and recharge shields or whatnot while moving, but maybe they lose half their speed while moving. Kind of like how the Gareth and Galahad, they lose speed while moving with their shield up. Just an idea. So now we're jumping into more of an open map here, and my suggestion on open maps is obviously get a bot that can get around the beacons, of course. Grab your home beacons, but start with some range because there's just 2 of you. And so whoever outranges the other guy or can hit them out from cover is going to win. So I put my Lance Tempest in. This is my favorite platform for the Lance, for the Tempest, because I've got the physical shield on their bags. And that helps me because, look, we're going to discover this guy's running, of all things, a Butch Trebs. A Butch with 4 trebuchets on there. So I've got the perfect thing to run, pretty much. That Lance shield's not strong, but it's always up and running if I'm facing forward. So as long as I keep this guy from breaking my shield down with those trebs, we're going to have the big advantage on him. Plus I got 800 range. So who do you think will win this arrangement? See, I blocked his shot.
You.
You think I will here? Mm-hmm. This is 1-to-1 on your Mountau, new guy we're playing. And my goal is to grab my home beacons like he did, but to use my speed boost to get to center beacon, so I put pressure on him to have to come to me. And that's the big deal on 1 versus 1 is if you can grab 3 beacons, you can dictate what happens in the fight. You make them come to your battlefield. You get behind cover and corner shoot them. See, I'm still trying to use my boost here to stay out of his treb range because trebs can still hurt that Lance with enough time. So anyway, this is kind of funny, but I'm going to try some corner shooting with my Molots. Since there's only 2 of us, I don't have to focus on anything else on the battlefield, just this guy. I'm sure he's probably using some cover up there, but hey, I can reload here. And I'm just kind of waiting to make my move up that bridge and try to take him out. But I want to make sure he doesn't nail me with 4 trebs first. Yeah. So we'll see what happens here. I think it's time to make the move. I tried to get my Tempest going in accelerator mode, and now I should have a straight line to take him out. I'll have to, take some treb shots to the chest here, but hopefully he'll either miss or I'll take him out. All right, now here's the thing. We got to stay back far enough so that when he spawns in, if he spawns in right here, he can't hit us. So maybe 500 or 600 range in case he's got mid-range rockets or something. And I think Bags, he came in with a Griffin. So we're going to try to take him out from a distance. I don't know if he's got pins and Columbus or pinatas or what. But I know he's a Griffin because he's jumping. So let's see if we can take him out. Look at that huge health we already took out of him before he even got a shot off yet.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's try and take him out before he gets to center beacon, of course. Just try to use our range here. We don't have to worry about anything else on the battlefield. Just us and him, and we control 3 beacons. Once again, let's stay back. We obviously picked the best spot to start with here. And what do you think he's coming in with here? Can you tell? Looks like a Carnage.
It's a Carnage!
So he's got his Ansel shield, but once again, I feel like not only are the Punishers and Molots doing more damage to physical shields, but they're also doing a lot of damage to Ansel shields. You can't see the Ansel energy bar yet. The developers are still trying to fix that, but you can tell when the Ansel shield stops working as you fire into it. Now watch the damage we do on this Carnage as we finally take that Ansel out and try to stay back from his thunders. Man, took him out before center beacon. This guy's lost how many bots now?
4.
I think 3. He lost the Butch Trebs, the Griffin, and the Carnage. Now he's got an Ancelot. And once again, we're going to back off, use our speed boost. I think he's got Terran, so let's stay back out of range. And we're going to work on his Ansel shield. And then also watch the damage he takes on his physical shield once that Ansel goes down. Even with this Molot clip, we take out the whole Ansel plus like a third of his health, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we're staying back, and so we control the battlefield, we control the range.
Yeah.
So let's see here. We've got to reload, and we're going to work on that Ansel again, try to take him down. I think he's going to try to go to center beacon, so we do need to watch for that. I mean, we're hurting him bad, but if he takes center beacon, then once again, he can start to control the battle here.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to close back in on him. Luckily, he's injured. What do you think? Do you think we can take him here, Bags?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got that physical shield, and that's going to help against his Terrans. But once again, I feel like the Lance shield's not as strong this weekend as it is before. It's not always the strongest, which I'm fine with because the Lance is a pretty strong bot already, and I don't want to make it too overpowering. So even against Terrans, I felt like the shield was a little. You can see me taking damage. Of course, we got to remember this is our first bot. We took damage from Trebs, took a few rockets from the Griffin earlier, some thunder shots from the Carnage. So, maybe it was just all the damage we already took. But look, is this his 5th bot?
Yeah.
5th, right? Okay, so he's on his last bot. We just lost our 1st.
Yep.
So we can spawn in at our home spawn point or the 2 home beacons. Of course, he got center. And I'm thinking, okay, what do I have that will be good against an Ancelot Terran?
Him.
And I thought, well, first of all, I've got the physical shield on the Lance. The Raijin, of course, earlier we had to stop to put the shield up. But this is going to be good, right? For the physical shield. And then I've got the Thunder to break down his Ansel.
We choose you, Greg. And we choose you, Lancelot.
Yep. He's our first pick here, first draft pick. So we've got the physical shield to protect us. Got the Thunder to slowly knock down his Ansel. We don't want to knock it down and waste Thunders till we get close enough to fire our Orkans. And then, of course, our Orkans are going to help take out the actual Lance. So I think this is a good choice.
Yeah.
And notice how I'm waiting. Now that I'm in 300 range, we're going to start using our Thunder to really knock his shield down. And then go all in, lead our target, take that guy down with our Thunder Orkans here. It's a paper, rock, scissors deal, and that's what 1 versus 1 is all about. We want to recapture center, and we've got splash damage, so he can't really hide around this little structure there. We can still take him out. So Bags, I think that's it. I think that was his 5th bot.
Yep.
We just started into our 2nd. Do notice that he worked down our shield just with a couple clips of Terrans.
Yep.
So like I said, I feel like that Lance shield's a little weaker, but that's okay by me. So we did pretty good there, man. We started with the Lance Tempest.
Yep.
My favorite setup for the Tempest. I know you like the Raijin.
Dad, do you know what? Maybe when it's the test server again, I will run a Molot Lance.
You want to run that Tempest Molot Lance?
Yeah.
It's pretty fun, and if you don't have to worry about anyone else on the battlefield, you can just work on your range there. That's what that guy was running, and like I said, we took out his 5 bots with just 1.5 of our bots. So hopefully you got a good look at the 1 versus 1 mode there and the Beacon Rush mode with a couple different hangars. And I hope that you get to test it out too. If you have any comments about what hangar you would run in Beacon Rush mode or what hangar you would run in a 1 versus 1 mode, you can see what I'm running here. I'd love to hear about that in the comment section below. Also, if you're not a subscriber yet to the channel, man, always subscribe. We got fun stuff coming up. My boys like Bags of Riches here, you play on the test server, right? You're 5.5, and Thomas plays. Cup of Soup. He's 7 almost.
And even though I am 5, I killed Fat Rat once.
You killed a player named Fat Rat. Yeah, Fat Rat works at Pixonic, so that's pretty cool that you killed a Pixonic employee in the game. Anyway, that Molot Tempest Lance really did the deal there on the big open map. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed Beacon Rush mode there on the test server and the 1 versus 1 mode. I think it's back to 6 versus 6 for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
But that was a whole different tactics, whole different strategy. I hope you liked the video. Please click like once again and come join us for the next video. That's it, Bags. Let's say bye.
Bye.
And we hope you have a great War Robots day.